Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's G-Bub here. I'm sitting here, we are fixing to fire up our Iveco, and we are fixing to go and do our very first Christmas delivery here for the world of trucks. Now, with this, I'm not saying we're going to be doing all the Christmas deliveries over here. In fact, after this, we'll probably go and hatback across the pond over there to the American side and do some deliveries on them. But since we just got our truck and we worked so hard to get it, by God, we're going to do at least one while we're at it. So let's go take a look at the job market. And for the Christmas deliveries, it has to be external contracts, right like this, and it's going to sync up. There we go. All right, it knows we're in Grimsby. So where are we going to be going? We got Helsingborg and Copenhagen and Odense and Swansea. That one's not too bad. Swansea there. Tell you what, instead of looking at price, why don't we look at distance, like route length? We got anything going out of here? Let's see. We got one from Grimsby to Birmingham. That one's not too bad. It pays almost 56 euros a mile, and it's nice and short. We're going to be going to Birmingham. I think we're going to take that one. See if we can knock this one out right quick, because I don't feel like driving all the way across Europe today. All right, so let's see where we got to go here. We're all cranked up. Let's see. Got here, shift it into first, let's put it into second, there we go. Don't think our parking brake's on. Oh, that's right, we're bobtailing. Sitting here going, oh, we got to make sure the trailer's okay, but we're bobtailing, so that's okay. We've got to go and pick up our delivery. This is just like picking anything else up in the freight market. And that's we got to go and pick up the delivery for it. Anything coming that way? I think we're okay that way. We got a red light. Let's come on out here so we can beat this bus.
Right.
Beat any traffic coming out this way too. And we're going to be hanging a left? Yes, we are. So let's haul out over here in the slow lane. Hello, shifting 6. There you go. Got to double clutch with these things too. It ain't just American trucks. You got to learn that skill. You got to learn how to double clutch with these too. But alrighty, so we're gonna hit the roundabout.
Take the first exit.
We're gonna see. I think we're okay here.
Exit now.
That's what we're doing. Thank you so much, old mean old lady. She may be a mean old lady, but you know, it's actually kind of comforting having her with us. Feels like being at home again, you know? Reminds me of an old joke. Y'all probably heard it before.
Go straight on.
That old joke about the guy that says he goes to the house of ill repute, we'll call it. Or actually, what we call it back home, the whorehouse. He goes to the whorehouse and he lays
Keep left, and then turn left.
lays $1,000 bill on the table, and he tells the guy, I want the worst whore in your entire house here. And the guy said, sir, for
You have arrived
$1,000,
at your destination. Your route
$1,000
guidance is now finished.
you can have the best whore in the house. And he says, I'm not horny, I'm just homesick. Now, let's see, we're going to pull it on up here. Now, picking up trailers, whenever we're doing this whole thing with the kingpin, we got to be dead on, just like you saw back when we were in America. You got to be dead on it here. Look, not that way. I hate this. I hate the fact we can't look to the left. You look to the right here, and it just turns you to look down that way. So we're going to do it with the mirrors. Yep. Crank it back up. What the devil? Slow it on down, slow it on down. Okay, let's pull on forward. Make sure I got my wheel right. There we go. I think that's straight. There, alrighty. Think we're good and lined up. Let's see. And we can't just back her in there good and straight, because we need to be right on target with this. Let's not go too fast, not too slow. There we go. Let's lock that puppy down. Let's go out and take a look. Alrighty. Let's lock her down now. Raise those legs. Landing gear is up. Truck is turned on. There you go. Alrighty. Boy, she's a pretty one, isn't she? I can tell you this much. I don't think we're going to have to worry. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, but even if it did turn nighttime, I don't think we're going to have to worry about seeing that in our mirrors too bad. Because it's like, shoot fire there. Alright, let's pull it on forward. Like, that thing's so bright, I think if we had the mirrors all screwed up, we'd still be able to tell which way it was going. Now, we're going to be in this side, and we got a giveaway sign, which is the equivalent of the American yield. So we're good. Let's come on out. Oh, we're going to hang right, aren't we?
And then turn right.
Pay attention to what exactly we're going to be doing. Have I got that over there? Yeah, we're all right. All right, no point shifting up a gear yet, because we are gotta wait for this traffic to go by. All right, I don't think this. No, okay, all right. This is not a 4-lane, so that is their lane over there. So let's remember that. Whew, when you're trying to turn this wheel, I've been asked before. Old Mind Fiend asked me, said what kind of car do I drive in real life? And I do drive a stick. So I am used to having to steer and shift and use the blinkers and all that at the same time. So I am used to all that. Thing just being that, like, well, I'm not used to where everything is on here. You know, everything's a little bit different. The paddles are a little bit different, and the double clutching, you know, you ain't got a double clutch with your car. Okay, we do have an engine brake. I wanted to be sure. You know how it is. You ain't got a double clutch with your car. So that's new. And then you got the fact that no matter how many times I've driven my car, I ain't never ever been in danger of rolling it over. So all this, you know, be careful about taking a turn at more than 20 miles an hour is just kind of new to me. All right, we got a long drive ahead of us. I think we can hammer down a little bit, but just a little bit. Let's scoot on down to 6 and get a little momentum going on here, shall we? It is a pretty day out here today, isn't it? It is so nice. I like my little gift up there, just sitting there swinging in the breeze, have a little sip of coffee there. We might have to, at some point, we may have to pull over into a rest stop. I don't know. We got a full tank of fuel here. Fuel tank of fuel, so we ain't got to worry about that. But we might have to do a rest stop because we aren't. Because we do got a lot of blue on our. Little bed icon there. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I do know that every time I see those little signs there, they have those little arrows pointing. It tells me that you need to be careful, because that is one wicked curve. People gonna hate me on this trip, I can tell you that already. Oh, I like the sun visor up there. I hadn't realized it already came with a sun visor. I like that sun visor and see the light kind of creeping through it up there. All right, let's be careful now. It says we can do 50, but 22 feels pretty good. And even at this speed, I'm still getting a lot of kind of jerking in my steering wheel. And we got a real sharp curve coming up here. So let's slow it down. I don't want to... I like how the retarder just kicks in there like that. That is nice. Yeah, woo, I wonder what they building out there. It's gonna be big, whatever it is. All right, good. That was a heck of a turn there. I'm glad I was looking on the map and saw it coming up, because we sure would have turtled it there, I bet you. Alrighty, folks. So how y'all doing today? Anybody out there been doing any trucking along with me and delivering these pretty little packages and stuff like that? We got services coming up. We don't need the services right now. We're good on fuel. That's one thing I'm learning to do. I've been watching a lot of trucker videos, and a lot of them call it fuel. They don't worry about the whole petrol and calling it diesel and all that kind of stuff. They just call it fuel. And I guess that way, no matter what you're driving, whether you're driving a car, whether you're driving a big rig, you're always right. You're always right, because you're always fueling it up. All right, looks like we got some more snaky roads coming up here, so let's just be kind of careful with it. I know we're going awful slow right now, but that just saves us having to slow down whenever we get up here. See, you got that little road snake there. There's them Shire fences again. Waiting to see the hobbits sitting on top of them. All right, 8th is good speed. Looks like we might do this whole thing in 8th gear out here today. Now, let me look at my buttons here. We're getting 5.4 miles to the gallon. And I think that's because we're in 8th gear all the time. Grinding it a little bit. I think we can do 25, 30 miles an hour in 10. Something we talked about before is the fact that, you know, you get these lower speed trucks like this that do the whole thing with the these lower speed trucks that do the whole thing with the 10 speeds and the 12 speeds and all that. You just run through gears right quick. It's like you hit 12th gear before you get to 40 miles an hour, and then everything past that's in 12th gear. Kind of like driving my real car, how whenever you shift into 5th at about 40 miles an hour, and then whether you're doing 45 or whether you're doing 90, you're still in 5th gear. Moving on up to 10th. Still don't want to get too fast because we want to preserve our cargo back there. Of course, we're just going to Birmingham, so it's hard to say. It actually feels pretty light. I didn't take a look and see how heavy this load was, but it actually feels kind of light back there. I don't know if they're just big empty boxes or whether, it can't be cold. So Birmingham y'all must have been doing pretty good this year. Y'all must have been pretty good people, because it don't feel like I'm hauling a load of coal here. We would have been much heavier than that. It wouldn't be pulling nearly this good. Oh, car. So is this a divided road, or you just passing me? You just passing me. That's all right. You pass away there, buddy. You go right ahead and do what you feel you need to do. Because I'm going to take this nice and easy. Oop. I thought I had an intersection. Woo! Thought I was about to have to turn or something. That was scaring me to death. I was one of them butt puckers right there. I said pucker. Make sure you get the letter on the front of it. A butt pucker. When you sit there and you get all scared and you go, ooh, what the hell about to happen? Tell you what. We ain't took our thumbnail yet, so let's go ahead. I'm going to pop out here and take a thumbnail of me driving this, so we'll be able to put it on the title screen. And I'll be right back with y'all. We're back. That was a nice one. That's going to make a nice screenshot. title screen, I do think. All right, let's not get too crazy away. Going 35 miles an hour, let's not go too fast. We'll kill ourselves. Let's see, how's it handle here? Yeah, not handling too bad here. This is why I don't think I'll ever get the just on time stuff done. It's because we just can't get that speed going, you know. It just, these curves at any kind of speed that these AI trucks and all are doing, it's just crazy. Oh, just slow it on down. These roads are a little curvy. All right, now we can speed it back up again. That's one thing I have noticed, is that I went back and I watched, but I knew there was one of the internet truckers that I watch, and he was doing one of his routes out there, and this was one of his early videos where he showed what settings he had it on. He went through the options and he scrolled down and showed like the settings and stuff like that. And suddenly it came a lot more clear why it was that this guy could sit and fly around these roads at like 40 and 50 and 60 miles an hour and all that, because he left all his sliders all the way over there to the right, which is basically arcade mode. So yeah, it's like his car was his truck was running on rails, you know. So that's why it was glued to the road. He could fly along. It was like when he sits there and he'd go into Nevada and he says, "Oh, I'm glad we're out of California where the speed limit's 55, and that we gotten into Nevada where the 70 mile an hour speed limit." And he'd go flying along at that speed, and he'd just be glued to the road, and it's because he was. Oh, it's a pretty river here. We're gonna have to look up on the map and find out what river this is. See if this river's even real. Because I know there's a few things in here that they put in that aren't quite kosher, you know. One of the people was talking about here, was talking about on the M1, and he says, you know, that real pretty, he was talking about a real pretty tunnel, I think he said on the M1, he said, which ain't there. He said there was about 3 tunnels he'd been in while he was in here traveling around the UK and traveling on roads, and came across tunnels, and said those tunnels that he was on weren't there in the real world. Boy, that was a silly place for you there to pass there, buddy. Now, what time is it? It shows it's almost noon. It must be about to rain, because it's getting awful dark out. I'm going to go ahead and turn our lights on. Although with that sucker hanging on the back there, it's not like you can't see this thing. Ain't nobody that run into me say that they can't see me. That's for real. I tell you, this is embarrassing. It just feels embarrassing to me how slow we're going and all that, but I just don't know. Every time we go into one of these curves, I get a whole bunch of pulling in my wheel, making it feel like, I mean, I haven't seen it trying to tip back there, but I get a bunch of pulling in my wheel, making it feel like it's going to. It feels just like it did whenever it rolled that time. Remember back in American Truck Sim when I was still just a newbie. Remember why I turtled it over there whenever we were heading to, wasn't Grimsby? Where were we headed? Were we headed to Salt Lake when we I think we were headed to Salt Lake when we rolled it. And you get that same kind of judder and pulling feeling in there. You can see it leaning back there. You see it rocking a little bit. And that's at 26 miles an hour. This engine's having a hard time pulling this. Once again, we got that bottom engine. I'll take it. I'll tell you what, let's take a look right quick, just for giggles. Let's come out here. Does it show how much this thing weighs? I mean, my diagnostics here. Diagnostics, no truck damage, no trailer, doesn't show any of that. Does it show, what's my job? It just says gifts. Don't say how many tons, it just says gifts. So, okay. I don't guess it does say. Let's come back in with it hammered down all the way to the floor so we can be doing a 35 miles an hour. 36 miles an hour. Bet y'all happy we got a truck lane over here, that's for sure. Wish we see some more of them pretty farms around here. That'd be nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't. Be careful. Remember, look at that little, don't look too far to the right so you can't see where the road is. Let's also, you notice I didn't overcompensate. I didn't go jerk the wheel back, which I've got a habit of doing too. So I'm glad we didn't do that. Whoop. We're up almost 40 miles an hour. Let's slow it down a little bit. We're almost at the speed limit. That's scary for me. Curve coming up. And a car on the curve, so if we did wander over into the other lane, it would have been ugly. So yeah, okay, we are yawning. Looks like we're gonna have to stop at this stop area up here, at this rest area. Said, I know we slowed it way down there, but once again, we're going in that curve. We were getting that juddering and pulling in our steering wheel there. Whoa, this one's. Slide it on down to 6. This has got, ooh, this would have been ugly, I can tell you that now. I'd have been all over the road if I hadn't slowed it on down. I know we're ridiculously slow, but darn. Why y'all make these snaky roads over here? Alrighty. Now, has this one got a rest area? I think it does. Yes, it does. Let's pull on up. And I'm going to back it on in here nice and proper like. As soon as I crank up my engine again. Shift it down to second. Let's pull it down up here. There we go. And now let's back it on back nice and proper like into that. Or maybe we'll just sit here and block the fuel island. That's a possibility too, you know. Boom. Alrighty, that's kind of ugly, but we're gonna stop it here. Put the parking brake on, we'll hop out. Yeah, that's kind of ugly. I could have parked it better, but let's turn our lights off. Don't want to run the battery down. And then we're going to sleep before we fall asleep, because that'd be an ugly wreck. Alrighty, here we go.